So before we get started, guys, I just want to let the newer players and the younger players especially know that you don't have to have the latest and greatest stuff. You don't have to have the new goggles that just came out last week because, you know, it's going to make you see better or, you know, it's going to make your shot better or anything like that. Don't feel pressured to buy new stuff that you don't have to buy. Whatever you have is probably already good enough, but you know, if you have the money to do so, you know, having some of this stuff might be a little bit more convenient for you and make your playing experience better, but that's not always the case. So now that that's out there, let's get to the gear bag. I'm going to show you guys not only my playing gear, but I'm going to show you some of the stuff that I take with me when I do travel for these tournaments that makes things a little bit better and life a little easier. So the first thing I have for you guys are my arm pads. These are the HKARMY crash pads, I believe. I think these have been out for a season or two. I got these at World Cup because Paris Camp Carnage, you guys stole my arm pads. I'm on to you. So anyways, I'm glad I got these because these are a little bit more form-fitting. They're a little bit more tighter, so you might want to stay true to whatever arm size you are. I usually wear a large in Planet Eclipse pads, but these are medium and they're so snug. Yeah, these are a medium and they're pretty snug. The padding is pretty good on these, and I've washed these probably about 15 times or so, and the stitching and everything else seems to hold in place. Like I'm not seeing any loose threading. The Velcro is still intact. Everything is right where it should be. I love these because they're so slim and they don't slide up your arm or move up your arm whenever you're making a big dive or anything like that. So I love these pads. My other go-to elbow pads are these Planet Eclipse ones. I think they're called the Overlord pads or something like that. I love these. I've been using these for the last 2.5 years. The only gripe I have with these is once you start washing these, they start to get a little bit of a loose feel. They're not grippy to your arm. They kind of like, you know, they kind of levitate off of your skin. So when you do dive, these things flop around everywhere. But other than that, you know, they're pretty good pads. Just be careful when you do wash these. They start to tear there. I don't know if you can see that, but they're starting to tear. So the next thing I have are my knee pads. Now, sticking with Planet Eclipse, I've been using these for the last 2.5 years, 3 years. I can't remember, but I've had these for a while. These are my go-to knee pads. Lately, they've been a little bit bulky. I've been thinking about switching to volleyball knee pads because those are so much thinner. But as you can see, these have taken a beating and they're still good. So these are like really carved out in the knee there. So with any Planet Eclipse pads, you just want to be careful when things, just set them on the delicate setting and air dry them whenever you can, because these do get kind of beat up here from the wash. So knee pads, always a must-have. What else we got here? So following through, we have our pants here. This is the HKARMY Freeline Jogger pants, the ones that they came out for in the 2018 season. I love these pants. They're super durable, super breathable, and I'm just a fan of more form-fitting pants. I don't like the bad other pants give you. So with these, the only thing that I don't like about these pants is that throughout the whole leg, it's very form-fitting, which I like. But when you get up to the waist here, these are size medium, and I usually wear small, but these mediums, they should be a waistline of, I think, 32 to 34. However, these are more of like a 38. So it's super tight on the leg, but then when you get to the waist, it's super big, and you have to wear a belt. Otherwise, it's really uncomfortable when it does sag down. So my only gripe, other than that, these pants are great. No complaints here. I've washed these a ton throughout the season, and the threading are still intact. Nothing is ripped on the pants. The crotch is still intact. The knee pads in here aren't ripped, and I put these things through the ringer, so that stands for the quality. Next up for you guys, I have my Planet Eclipse. I guess they call this the program jersey. This is their rain jersey that they have out, and it lives up to its name. This is what I use for practice, especially when it rains, because it's sort of like a water resistant material. Now that I say it's water resistant, in that it's not waterproof, so it'll keep you dry as long as it's not, you know, hurricane rains or like downpouring. But with the light drizzle, medium drizzle, you're set to go in this jersey, and it's really great. On the inside front portion of this jersey here, they give you a microfiber towel, so as long as this is dry, you know, if it's wet out there, you can just wipe your goggles and you're good to go. Love this jersey. We actually competed in 3 tournaments last year using this jersey, so good stuff. Moving on with the jersey trend here, this is my jersey for actual tournaments. This is what we used for Chicago and World Cup, and love this thing. Always going to keep this hanging up somewhere in my row with it, and you know, just love this jersey. It's form-fitting, you know, it's true to size. It's a size medium for me, which fits pretty snug. They have the meshing throughout the whole side, so you're staying cool throughout those games there. And what I love about this jersey is the sleeve. So on the sleeve here, it's more of like a constructed material, so that your jersey isn't tearing whenever you make any slides or anything like that. And the sleeve is actually really form-fitting, so when you do dive, the sleeves don't move up your forearms like other jerseys do, and it's really annoying. So you don't have to wear a thumb loop because these don't come with it, but you know, it prevents the jersey from sliding up and becoming really annoying. Whenever I'm playing, the collar always rubs against my neck, and it always gives me a rash. With this jersey, I haven't had that yet, so you know, love this thing. So one of the final pieces to my playing gear is my pack. It's a little dirty here, but this is the 0G HKARMY strapless pack. I love this thing. I've never had a strapless pack before this. I've always been old school and had the straps. If it was the, you know, Dye Assault pack, or it was the Vulcan pack or GI race pack, I've always had straps. This is a game changer. In comparison to the Bunker King pack, you're able to adjust how loose or how tight each of these are, so that you don't have trouble pulling a pod out if it's too tight or too loose when they're falling out. So that's a great thing. Never had a problem with these so far. The only time I've ever dropped a pod or had one open is because, you know, I just need to learn how to dive. But other than that, it's been great. What I love about this pack is the back support. Now, I'm a snake player, so when I do dive into the snake, my biggest pet peeve is to have my pack spin around from my back and end up on my stomach. And, you know, I'm wasting so, you know, adjusting my pack so that it's back in the normal position where it should be, instead of actually playing paintball. With this pack, I don't have to deal with that. It's very tight, it's very close to the body, and I love this thing. I'm not saying this because we wear HK stuff. I'm saying this because I've worn a lot of different packs, and this is by far my favorite pack to date. This is the HKARMY 0G. So we're winding down on the paintball gear here so far. Just a few more things, like this bandana. I think it's just a striped bandana. I'm not too sure. I'm not into, you know, the headgear type of thing, but this is a diamond mesh that I got from Nate Slagle. I really appreciate it, man. I still have this after all these years, and I still wear this every tournament I go to. It's something that I never leave behind. Cannot play without this thing. It's always there with me. Thank you, Nate. So going along with the headgear here, I do have this OG headband on the front. You see this snake stripe, I guess, green and tan headband. On the back, it's a purple and black flying skulls. I've had this for the last year. I don't play a game without it, just like my bandana. Always got to have this thing. Maybe it's a superstition thing, but who knows. So you guys probably wonder what I shoot. In a lot of my videos, I'm using a lot of different guns, mainly the G-Tech 160R. Sometimes you'll see me with the CS2. Sometimes you'll see me with an LV or something different along those lines. But my main shooter for this season is my Planet Eclipse CS2 with the Virtue Spire 3. And normally I have a Ninja SL tank on here. As far as this gun goes, I can't ask for anything better. I do have an extra 6.85 barrel back on here. That's a must. I generally always have a 6.85 or a 6.81 for tournament use. In practice, I usually just keep it on a 6.85 because that's what HKARMY paint comes in, and that's what we shoot at practice. So there's my gun. There's my loader. So moving on to my mask here, I have my mask bag, HKARMY of course, because we're HK sponsored. I have my HKARMY KLRs. Now these are pretty special because LJ Schwartz hooked us up whenever we made the switch to these guys. These orange accents, you can't buy these in retail the way that this mask comes. So LJ hooked us up. You have to buy the accents separately and then connect everything together along with the earpieces as well. So we do have the orange and black setup. I do have this greenish blue lens on here. So when it comes to masks, I'm pretty picky about what I use. But with this mask, you know, I've had no complaints so far because I do have asthma. Things get a little bit hard to breathe in. So, you know, with this, I haven't had that many problems whatsoever. It's been great. I do love the chin strap here. It's not a normal click button. It's kind of, you just slide it in there and it locks in place. You push the button and it relieves. You no longer have to push the tabs on the side. You just pop it in and you're good to go. On the top side of my mask here, I have the HKARMY GoPro mount. Been using that. I'm not a fan of top mounted cameras because all you see is your loader whenever you're playing, and I'm one of those people who don't believe you should switch up your gun style or the way that you hold your gun in order to get some good footage. So I'll try and figure out a way to get you guys some more playing footage, but here's the mask. Love it. Put this in the back here. Now you're thinking this is another mask, but it's not. You know, one of my teammates left their mask bag and no one wants to claim it. So I took it and I used it as a cleat bag. Now, the reason why I put my cleats in this bag instead of directly in my gear bag is so that, you know, I can keep all the dirt and the grime and the dust all in this bag, and I can just dump it out and then throw it in the washer and it's good to go. So I do have my cleats in here right now. And these are my Mercurial Vapor 12s made by Nike this season. Can't be happier with these. I'm a Nike fan. I'm not a big fan of Under Armour, even though I do have the cleats over here. I just feel like they fit better and they're a lot more comfortable when I run. And guys, here I have a pair of Under Armour cleats. It's not like I'm pretty biased towards Nike. That's just my preference. I've always worn Nike. They've been super comfortable. When I got these, I was pretty excited, but kind of let down because it just feels like I'm running barefoot in these. And I'm more of a soccer cleat kind of person. So these cleats kind of let me down. But when we're going to a tournament, I kind of look at the weather to see if it's raining or if it's going to be a mud fest out there. If it is, then I'll take these cleats and I'll put them in my gear bag. So, you know, I'll have a set of spare cleats that are dry, good to go, and then I can dry my other pair that are wet and, you know, just have a better overall experience at the field. Last few things in my gear bag when it pertains to the playing gear, you know, you got to have socks. When I go to the tournament, 4 pairs of playing socks. That way I'm not using the same old dirty sock. They're wet, they're stinky, they're sweaty. Can't have that, man. You got to have a fresh pair of sock. So 3 or 4 pairs, put them in the gear bag. They're ready to go. Also, I have my Virtue visor here. Now, a lot of masks nowadays don't come with visors. I don't know why, because every event that we go to, most likely it's gonna have a chance of rain. So I bought this in Atlantic City last year and have this in my gear bag just in case things get a little scary and a little muddy. So always gotta have this in my gear bag. Forgot to mention gloves. Everybody asked me what glove, and you know, it's all the same. These are, I believe they're called P-Grip Liberty gloves. You can order these off of Amazon. Basically, they're kind of a linen cloth type material on the top here, and then on the bottom, I think it's like a polyurethane neoprene coating on the bottom, so that when you do slide or you're picking something up, it's got that that coating to protect your hands, and it's not gonna, you know, hinder your movements at all. So you're pretty free, pretty breathable. I love these gloves. You get them off Amazon, I believe a 24 pair pack for $24. So, you know, you can't go wrong. You lose a pair, you automatically have another in your bag ready to go. These are machine washable, so you guys can just throw them in the washing machine and then you can have a fresh pair for the next time you play. Love these things, recommend them. I haven't been a fan, you know, I'm not a fan of paintball specific gloves because they cost $30, and if you lose one of them, well, you're out of luck. What are you going to do with the other pair, or with the other glove? So a fan of these, always get these, must have. With that said, I probably should have mentioned this with my playing gear, but I do have 2 EXÁLT squeegees with the fuzzy tips and the rocket tips on the other end that you never know when you're going to need these. So I have 2 in there just in case. You're also going to need a lot of microfiber towels. I would bring a lot of them with you because you're going to end up cleaning your loader, cleaning your gun, cleaning your tank, cleaning your mask when you're back at the house and not at the tournament getting ready for the next day. You want to get these microfiber towels. Now I got these at Costco. These come in a big bulk pack. I think I got them for 16 bucks for like 50 towels. And I've had this specific bag for the last 5 years. So 16 bucks for 5 years, can't go wrong. Moving on to the kind of the med kit portion. I do have ibuprofen. A lot of the times you're dehydrated or you're coming back from the field from being baked in the sun. You got a headache, you got a migraine, gotta have ibuprofen always in my bag. You never know when you're gonna have to pop a few pills there to get you through the day. And I also have potassium glucoconate, and this will help you with any of the cramps that you get if you're not eating enough bananas or getting enough water, Gatorade, stuff like that after playing, you know, 1 day, 2 day, and then by the time you're getting to Sunday, you know, you're completely tapped out physically. I know for a lot of us older guys, that tends to be a big issue. So gotta have these 2 at least. I don't always take them. I try not to take them, but sometimes, you know, you get in those moods where you gotta push through. So also we got athletic tape and gauze because I tend to cut myself a lot, whether my gloves break or I tend to forget a glove, or, you know, some sort of rock just pierces through and slices my hand or slices my leg. I always have something there just in case. You never know what happens or what will happen at a tournament, and it's best just to be prepared. Also, I got some of this friction defense gold bond stuff. You know, you don't want to be chafing, whether it's the jersey scraping you or you know, your pants hiking up somewhere that you don't want it to hike up. Always got to take care of that. You don't want to be chafing at all. So another thing that you must have in your gear bag traveling with you is a pack of baby wipes. Now these I got from Costco. Again, these do not contain alcohol in them. So after a day of playing, you know, you're pretty sweaty, you smell pretty bad, and you got paint all over your face, paint all over your hands. You just feel gross. So you just pop this open and you got pretty much wet wipes whenever you go, wherever you go. You don't have to worry about, you know, feeling that gross, disgusting feeling leaving the field and then going to get something to eat on your way back to the hotel. So baby wipes, really highly recommend these things. They're a lifesaver. So going on from that, final few things, I just have some extra batteries here, and I usually carry my GoPro Session. You never know when you gotta film and all of that. And then in the downtime between matches, I usually carry, you know, some sunflower seeds to pass the time. Also get some of that salt back into your system, and you know, just kind of get you squared away and pass the time throughout your matches. So I think that is pretty much it for what's in my gear bag. Thank you for watching the video, guys. I know it's a little bit long. I'm sorry for the audio cutoffs. I'm trying out my new lapel mics. I don't know if I like them or not, so we'll see going forward. But I really appreciate you checking out my gear bag. If there's anything that you feel that I'm missing within my bag that I should bring for my next tournament coming up in March, which is Vegas, let me know in the comment section down below what I should bring or whatever I'm missing. If I helped you out on bringing anything and giving you any tips, let me know so that I can continue recommending those things, and hopefully they help out more people down the road. I really appreciate you guys watching the video. I will be gone for the next couple weeks. I'm taking a vacation out to Japan and Vietnam, so I might do a little vlog while I'm out there and show you kind of what I'm doing with my time off outside of paintball. So see you guys in the next one. Thank you.